Call the regular council meeting for the corporation of the town of Cobalt on October 14th, 2025 to order at 6:30 p.m. Oath of office. Oath of office by Stephen Ward for the office of councillor of the corporation of the town of Cobalt. Stephen, if you'd like to come up.
I, Stephen Ward, having been appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the corporation of the town of Cobalt, solemnly promise and declare that 1. I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. 2. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corporate, or in any other improper manner. 3. I would disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. 4. I will faithful and bear truth allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada. And I make this solemn promise and declaration consistently believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We'll give Councillor Ward a few minutes to settle in. All right, do you have an agenda for Councillor Ward? Okay. No, that's okay.
Yep.
3, disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof, there is none. 4, public meetings, there are none. 5, deputations, delegations, there are none. 6, adoption of meeting agenda, draft motion, be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the regular meeting dated October 14th, 2025 as presented. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Starchuk. Any errors, omissions, clarification required on the agenda? All in favor? Carried. 7, adoption of previous council minutes. Draft motion, be it resolved that council approve the following minutes as presented. Special meeting of council September 11th, 2025. Regular meeting of council September 16th, 2025. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Anderson and Councillor Lafleur. Any errors, omissions? Questions? No? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Hey. 8, staff reports. Draft motion, be it resolved that council accept the staff reports as presented. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Hughes. 8.1, Cobalt Public Library minutes, August 2025. Any discussion? No. 8.2, staff report 2025-10-14-01. Third quarter 2025 variance report. Steve?
Your worship, may I speak to council on this?
Yes, we may.
Good evening, council. So this is our third quarter, so ending at the end of September. You'll notice the staff report, but along with the staff report is a consolidated statement of operations. And again, this will show you to September the 30th of what's actually under the 2025 actuals, not for the to date. That's in this other form right here. So reviewing our revenues and our expenses, actually looking to be on budget for most items here. The revenue summary here for the Fraser, just a smaller variance due to unexpected vacancy, but that's being taken care of as we speak. As for water, no variances from the budgeted figures at this time. Also with the cemetery, we anticipate a positive variance of approximately 6,800 by year end, largely in part due to the higher than anticipated sale of the columbarium niches and higher than anticipated donations from the Timiskaming Foundation. For sewer, until the end of September, this area is reflecting no variances from the budgeted figures either at this time. Grants, which is our OMPF federal and provincial, again, no variances there either. For our OMPF, we received 3 of our 4 payments so far. The 4th payment is due. We will be receiving it later this month. For the federal, we received our 2025 Canada Day grant, and we've already submitted our reporting for the 2025 summer jobs as well. I'm just waiting for reimbursement. And just to give you an FYI, for our Canada Day application, we'll be actually going in later this year. So it's taken care of well in advance. For provincial, we also received our NOFC initial claim for the administrative staff intern, and staff has submitted our final reporting and just awaiting reimbursement. And also our all other fees, we have a number of items still on Gov deals. Fire truck and F-150, they did not exceed our minimum requirements, but the street sweeper, we did sell it. We received $10,557.03. So that was a nice little bit of revenue coming in. That's great for that. Yeah. So.
And that was after the Gov deal fee.
Yes, yeah, it was at $12,097.78, but subtract the Gov deals fees, $10,557. So. As we continue going down, waste management revenue based off quarterly payments for Blue Box revenue. At this time, we've received only Q1 of 2025. And 2024, Q2 was received in October of that year, and Q3 and 4 were received in early of 2025. So this will go into later this year into 2026. Taxes, no variances from budget at this time. As with the trailer park, again, no variances, and the Fraser, which discussed earlier. Expenses, reflecting net overvariance of approximately $2,863 due to higher than anticipated insurance and professional consultation fees. Fire department, no variances from the budgeted items, either with public works and water right now. Waste management reflects anticipated net under variance of approximately $13,736 due to 3 factors within the landfill fees here. 2024 landfill reconciliation, we got a credit of $9,996.20. Monthly fee was reduced by $84.82 from January to December of this year, 2025. And also, we budgeted for an anticipated 2.5 increase at 2007-2209. So that one's looking better for us. Social services, no variances. Health services, no variances, as well as economic and business development. Culture and heritage, over variance from the budgeted figures of approximately $10,700. Due to insurance claims at the Fraser and Classic Theater. But please note that all costs associated with this claim, including the wages at the Fraser building, are being tallied so they can be provided to the insurance company for reimbursements.
And just to clarify, this means our insurance rates are probably going to be going up again next year.
Yes, they are. No matter if there is a claim or not, the fees seem to be going up every year.
Thing is car insurance.
Yep. Is that not true?
Yeah.
And just so that everybody on council is aware of that
No, exactly.
correlation.
Project.
I'll let you finish. I'm looking at the bottom of the page. I just have questions when we get there. Well, I'll wait till we get there.
Okay. Projects, continuing on, everything is what was put in the budget. We're on track for. Again, no variances. The official plan update is actually the one that is paused because of provincial government reviews of the plan right now. Preservation of heritage sites. Pause at time, although we could probably see a net over variance being the expenses. Wetland renewal rehab is similar to the capacity study, that no variances from the budgeted items at this time, or either the upgrade filters UV valve service lines, and finally the water plant drive effluent valves project. So those are all still on track. For public safety, our costs there, no variances from the budgeted items.
Question on that? Public safety, is that where our OPP costs come in? So
Yes, it is.
We still haven't got we got our bill for 2025 yet?
I'd have to just double check. Yeah, it's paid monthly, but although we'll see if we haven't found out what our costs will be for 2026.
Okay.
Because that's when the government came in and paused the cost last year, because they did a review of all items.
I think we're expecting an increase there just from the emails I've seen.
Yeah. Recreation, anticipated net variance approximately 3,800 due to lower than anticipated insurance cost. Canada Day supplies. Parks were over by $1,000 due to park washroom fixes and lawnmower parts expenditures. $1,000 related to vandalism. And there continues to be vandalism. Municipal buildings here, over variance approximately 3,000 due to property tax from acquired properties not budgeted for. Community hall chairlift repairs and a higher than anticipated hydro cost for street lights. But please note that the anticipated net over variance does not account for the conditions of Classic Theater Foundation. And we're in communication right now still with the Classic Theater board on that. Fraser, net over variance of approximately 12,000 due to elevator repairs. The motherboard went inside the elevator, and that's that entire cost right there. So after everything was fixed up, it worked for approximately 3 or 4 days, motherboard went. But that was the same motherboard that was put in there initially from when that elevator was put in back in 2014, 15, around that time frame.
And I think our elevator is now restricted
Yes.
to need-based only and case-by-case base. So hopefully that'll save a little bit of wear and tear.
And finally, the sewer variances for the budget figures at this time. So good news with our budget, everything seems to be on track there. Not very many variances, but the things that do hit us are, of course, the insurance claims, the biggest one of them all. So.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the bottom number, but am I reading this right? Like an annual surplus of 629,000?
Yeah,
And then the accumulated surplus end of the year, 1.6 million? This is in the plus, right? This is not.
Yeah, well, looking at this, remember your actuals here are only till the end of September.
Okay.
So there's that 3 months period.
Looks good on paper.
Yeah, of course. Just gonna look until after we see the audit.
Everything looks good on.
No,
We
but
still have 3 months worth to go in there.
Yeah.
no, all staff is reviewing everything, public works, administration, overseeing all of the projects and trying to keep our costs as low as possible. There's some things out of our control.
It still looks good for
Yeah.
in the last part of this year. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
expenses. And
Yeah.
some things we're like 2 payments behind paying because they don't get billed. Like, a little bit behind, like early fees.
Okay. All right.
As well as some of our capital projects, we're still waiting for the invoices still to come in.
So don't get too excited yet. Anybody else?
Keep the blood pressure down a little more.
Moving on, 8.3, staff report 2025-10-14-02, Canada Day 2026 committee. Do you want to speak to this, or do you want me to speak to this? We've decided to, going forward, to do a Canada Day committee, so that the onus isn't on 1 or 2 people for organizing Canada Day. I know Councillor Anderson's done it for many years. And recently Angie Jigraw Larrabee has been doing it. And I know it's a lot of stress and a lot of work for one person, and I think we've improved our Canada Day, and I think we can continue to improve our Canada Day if we have a bigger group working together and bringing ideas together. So we looked at trying to get a very robust committee with 1 member of council appointed by council, and a member from the Cobalt Fire Department, a member from the Golden Age Club, a member from the Legion, and up to 4 members from the community at large. So anybody out in the community who would like to put their name in. There is going to be an application for them to fill out.
Yes.
So I'm hoping for better things and for it to keep getting better.
We're talking us, like counselors too, or
Well, 1 counselor,
just one?
yeah, is going to be appointed by council, and then 4 members of the public. So
It's close by.
spread the word far and wide. The term is a 7-month term from January 1st, 2026 to July 31st, 2025. And the committee is going to meet once a month. They can hold additional meetings as they need to, but a minimum of once a month to meet. Okay, staff's going to contact the service boards. And like I said, there's going to be applications for the public to fill out to be on the committee, and the deadline for that is November 28th, 2025 at 3 o'clock to apply. Okay. Any questions on that one? 8.4, staff report 2025-10-14-03, surplus municipal properties. Yes, would you like to speak to this?
Yes. These are the 2 properties that we surplus at our last meeting. Yeah, we vested in. So right now, the cost that we put for each one, the 17 Pyrite Street North lot, we are looking at a cost of $9,000 for that. And then also 29 Hudson Bay Road is $12,000. So we have to put cost to these 2 lots.
Those are empty lots? Those are empty lots?
So how long are they going to be listed for?
Yeah, they will just join our other list of properties that we have
Okay.
ready for public.
Okay.
The costs onto it, so.
And again, so the public's aware, are these service lots?
Definitely not the 17 Pyrite Street, and I have to just double check again on the 29 Hudson Bay Road.
I'm getting a
I
nod.
do believe, yes, it is.
should be there.
Yep, yes, it is.
Okay. Just so the public's aware.
Yep.
Any further questions? Councilor Ward?
Backwards.
Sorry?
The prices are backwards. I think the one on Hudson Bay Road should be 9,000.
No, the one on Hudson Bay.
Oh.
Yeah, the one on Hudson.
Hard to sell them. Won't get $12,000 for the one on Hudson.
Yeah, well, the one on Hudson Bay is serviced and the one on Pyrite's not serviced. So there's no municipal services going to it. So
Then again, the one on Hudson Bay Road's not big enough to put a house in.
we do allow tiny houses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
If we don't get any
We'll see
nibbles,
what,
then we can visit it again.
Yeah, any bids, wants to put into it and then just bring it to council as well.
Okay, any other questions? 8.5, staff report 2025-10-1404, 2025-2026 holiday schedule request.
Your worship.
Yep.
As we do this every year, municipal staff is requesting council's approval to close the municipal office and public works department on the days of December 29th, 2025, December 30th, 2025, and December 31st for half a day on 2025. Staff will use their own vacation time for these days. So we do this every year, and therefore the office will be closed from December 24th at noon, and then reopening again on the, I believe it's December or January the 5th, 2026.
Which is a Monday.
Yes. If Public Works staff is required to work while using their vacation time, it'll be regular time in lieu of using their vacation time. So we've done this over the last few years, and it seemed to work very well.
And as usual, there will be an emergency number for public works stuff.
Yes, it'll be the 705, 679, 4200.
Okay.
And as usual, snow every day.
Not, yeah.
Any further questions on that? Okay, 8.6, staff report 2025-10-1405, bylaw enforcement officer, bylaw 2025-33.
Previously, the TMSA approached, well, they were aware that Pete Gilbo will be retiring. Actually, Pete will be retiring later this month. Therefore, we need a new bylaw officer. TMSA spoke with David Bishop, the individual who council met last meeting, and it wasn't accepted. So we still need a bylaw officer. And therefore, David Bishop and I spoke, and he would like the same contract as what we've been doing with Pete over the last few years. And so we need definitely like a bylaw officer here no matter what, as well as some other municipalities. So the implication on here, like what we paid Pete, plus we're $2,000 per month plus mileage plus HST. 2024 town of Cobalt paid $28,494.30, and the financial implication would not change as it'd be the same amount as the town.
I was just curious, is he gonna be patrolling, or is it just on call only? Like if he gets a complaint, he comes out and checks it out, or is he gonna patrol once in a while?
Complaint based, but when there is a snowstorm coming, as we have the parking issues here when our public works are out for snow, public works will be communicating with the bylaw officer to be in town. So if we see a major storm coming ahead, anticipate the bylaw officer will be here.
But he will be keeping his eyes open when he comes to respond to a complaint too. So if something else he notices, something, I'm sure it's going to be dealt with. Councillor Hughes.
I think we could negotiate this less than what we paid Pete Gilbo. And I don't think there's a need to pay for gas mileage. Nobody pays me to go to work, drive my car. So I think this could maybe be renegotiated a little less. we're paying for Pete. He had a lot of experience in the fish and wildlife, and he's up to date on all his bylaws. This guy doesn't really have a lot of bylaw training. He's got some police training, which is good. So I think we can negotiate this down, especially for his first year in his trial proposal. That's my opinion.
Okay. Okay, so all in favor accepting the staff reports? Carried. 9, items for council consideration. 9.1, Canada Day 2026 Committee. It's related to the staff report 2025-10-14-02. Draft motion, whereas the Canada Day celebrations are a community event and would not be possible without our volunteers and service boards, be it resolved that staff will contact the service boards and post an advertisement for applicants to apply to the Canada Day 2026 Committee with a deadline to apply of November 28, 2025 at 3 p.m. And further, that the applications will be presented to council at the regular meeting dated December 9th, 2025. A mover and a seconder. Okay, Councillor Ward and Councillor Starchuk, any discussion? I'm going to start it off by asking staff a question. Is this in time, when does the application have to be in for next year's Canada Day funds?
That will be,
November 28th, right there.
Okay, so if the committee wants to do any more, we're not going to be able to do it this time because we won't have the
usually
funds.
we put in for more, but there's usually a max that we could obtain.
Okay,
So,
okay, that's my only question.
yeah. And we try to get in what we can for this allocated.
Any other questions? No? Okay, all in favor? Carried. 9.2, surplus properties related to staff report 2025-10-14-03. Draft motion, whereas council vested 17 Pyrite Street North and 29 Hudson Bay Road after an unsuccessful tax sale dated August 6, 2025, and whereas received staff report 2025-10-14-03 with a recommendation to declare 17 Pyrite Street North and 29 Hudson Bay Road as surplus to municipal needs. Now therefore be it resolved that council declare 17 Pyrite Street North and 29 Hudson Bay Road as surplus to municipal needs. And further, that these properties be listed with a disposal price of $9,000 and $12,000. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Lafleur, any discussion? All in favor? Carried. 9.3, 2025-2026 holiday report. Staff report 2025-10-14-04. Draft motion, whereas council received staff report 2025-10-14-04. Now therefore be it resolved that council approve the holiday schedule for the municipal office and public works department and that public notice be given. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Anderson, any discussion? Further questions? All in favor? Carried. 9.4, rescheduling of January 6, 2026 council meeting. Draft motion, be it resolved that the regular meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, January 6, 2026 be rescheduled to Tuesday, January 13th, 2026 due to the holiday office closure. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Hughes. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. 9.5, letter of support, Township of Larder Lake, resolution to extend deadline for fire certification. Draft motion, be it resolved that the council of the town of Cobalt supports the Township of Larder Lake's resolution respectfully requesting that the province of Ontario through the Ministry of the Solicitor General and the Office of the Fire Marshal extend the compliance deadlines outlined in the Ontario Regulation 343/22 to a minimum of 2 years beyond the final release date of the Ontario Seal programs offered in the regulation for all effective certification categories. and that the province consider implementing a phased or regionally adaptive approach to certification deadlines, taking into account the availability of training programs and the unique challenges faced by volunteer fire services in rural Ontario. And that this resolution be forwarded to the Minister of the Solicitor General, the Ontario Fire Marshal, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, AMO, the Rural Ontario Municipal Association, ROMA, the Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs, OAFC, MPP John Bantoff, and all municipalities in Ontario for support and endorsement. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Starchuk and Councillor Anderson, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Carried. 10, items for council information. Draft motion. Be it resolved that council accept the items for council information as presented. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Anderson. 10.1 Northeastern Public Health, June 2025. Any discussion on that? No. 10.2 Cobalt Historical Society Minutes, regular meeting, September 2025. Any questions, clarification? No? Councillor Starchuk?
I just want to say I'm very happy that they got a donor for that sign. Fantastic. There is a statement in here that the memorial park was on sale is on town property and all maintenance is the responsibility of the town. I just wanted to highlight that.
Yep.
In your minutes, we're aware of that.
Yep. Okay. All right. 10.3 DSAB 2025 Q2 report. Any questions? Questions? 10.4 Christmas in the Park, December 6th, 2025. And I'll speak on this. So we've decided that we're going to light the lights in the park on December 6th, 2025. We will have our seasonal visitor coming. And I'm currently talking to some businesses about donations. Our focus, as usual, for this time of year, or that time of year, because it's not here yet, it's coming fast enough, it will be on the children. Okay. Okay. And as we have updates, I will pass them along through our mayor's report, and we will be posting a poster before the event like we did last year. Okay. And if anybody wants to pitch in, you can contact the office. You can contact me via telephone, 289-404-4088, or you can email me at aadsid@cobalt.ca. Okay. All help is appreciated. 10.5, Mark Harrison, Buffalo Mill property request. Any questions, clarifications? Do you want to speak on this?
Mark Harrison reached out to council here, I guess over by the Buffalo Mill property, just adjacent, behind the trailer park area.
Okay.
People are putting large piles of brush there. Honestly, don't know who it is. Maybe I have to look up some signs of not dropping it, but I and Public Works went out there to have a look at it, and there is a large pile of brush. I know individuals maybe have a burn. I highly against that, just because of all the brush around that area as well that goes through there. But definitely something maybe to look at there in sometimes, because there is an issue there.
Yeah, I would like to point out that this isn't the only place that brush gets dumped in town. And I'd also like to point out to our residents that's illegal to take brush off your property and dump it anywhere else. It does cause a fire hazard. I know it's an issue on Baker Street, on the municipal lot there. They dump over the hill. I also at the snow dump, they dump there. It's been brought to my attention by a few residents. And all I can say is please don't, because you're just creating another problem that needs to be dealt with now. And I agree with Steve that I don't think a controlled burn is the way to do it. There's too much danger of stuff getting away. And especially with the way our season has been this year. I'm not comfortable with it either. So as well as the air quality in town.
And that's a lot of bush too, so it's gonna fly around.
Councillor Wilcox?
With respect to the controlled burn, we used to burn down at the town dump, and that was stopped by the ministry because it was dangerous. So there's no question there at all. But it is a definite problem for people. Residents as well, if you don't have a truck and you can't find somebody to haul it somewhere for you, what do you do with brush? When I lived in Aurelia, they had a great program for shipping all of that stuff up and putting it into mounds, and every 7 years at the end, you would have people go and pick up free chips for the yards. It was a solution. But we might want to look at some of those kinds of things.
Unfortunately, we're looking at reducing costs, so I don't know.
A chipper's.
Their cost, and yeah, it's manpower to chip it. But it's definitely something that can be discussed. But we still have a service level review that we're going to be doing too, to reduce costs. So just so that everybody's aware that.
Does anyone that's been here for a long time know how long that's been a dump? Because I moved here 8 years ago and somebody said, you can go dump stuff just down there. That's 8 years ago, so I assume it went on for, there was lots of stuff when I was there, so I'm assuming it's went on for 15, 20 years probably.
But again,
It's been a long term there.
yeah. But again, if I will point out, it is against the law to take anything off your property and dump it anywhere else, whether it be brush, snow, does not matter. Yes, it is difficult for people to get rid of stuff if they don't have a truck, but there are ways, and unfortunately, you do have to pay somebody to do it. I've had to do it. So, because I don't own a truck, and I can't see me hauling a trailer down the street with my scooter. So,
Interesting image.
Yeah.
but anyway, so unfortunately, there is a cost associated with dealing with the issue, but that's all part of property ownership. You know, if you live anywhere else and you try and take stuff off your property and dump it where you're not supposed to, somebody's going to quickly report you. And the next thing you know, you're going to have the bylaw or police knocking on your door. So there's no easy solution.
No, sorry, go ahead. There is no easy solution. But the thing is, a lot of places that have brush disposal, actually you pay to turn around and dump it. But it's usually not that far, because right now we'd have to bring it to, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, we have to bring it to Liskeard, right? A lot of people don't have that transportation to do that. So it's comes up to a dilemma. And when he mentioned about the wood chipping, yeah, that would be a great idea. But you got to get a wood chipper, and they're not cheap, and somebody to work it safely.
Yeah. And then where to stockpile your wood chips where somebody's not really fire them.
That's true. Yeah. Well,
But it's something we can definitely investigate. Councillor Wilcox?
Yeah, certainly we should investigate. From my point of view, if you've recognized that it was a fire hazard, then you have to do something about it. There isn't, let's put it off till next year or the year after. That doesn't work for me. So, and I think, the only thing I can think of is wood chipper and turning it into mulch that we can let people come and pick up and put on their gardens. It's a use, it solves a problem. And yeah, it costs some money, but it might be a lot less than a fire.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. This is a discussion I've had with the office even last year about what can we do for yard waste. It's not just brush, it's leaves in the spring. I had 8 bags of leaves and twigs and branches and what do you do with them? So,
What I do with the leaves have a mulching lawnmower. Across it, the lawn, mulches it in little pieces. It's good for the lawn, actually. In the gardens. In the gardens.
That's small.
Yes, go ahead.
Councillor Wilcox.
Jim's quite right, but I do it in the spring. There's people that look after little bugs that live underneath the leaves tell me I shouldn't mulch them this time of the year.
All right, so it's something we can put on,
I
sorry.
just have a question, sorry. That garbage over there, I'm not exactly sure where it's at, because I haven't gone and looked at it. How much is there? Is it a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
So
lot.
it would have to be hauled away or could be buried? If it's just branches,
Hauling it would be quite a job to haul it all out of there. There is.
it could be buried if it's just branches and stuff. That's one thought. The other question is that a bylaw, officer? Is that a bylaw? Can't do that?
Yeah, you can't just look, yeah.
But again, somebody's got to report. Yeah.
Or have can.
Yeah, and as for burying it, I think the ministry might have, even though it's only branches, we might, I don't know, we'd have to look into the rules on that.
You'd have to check with Agnico since it's their property that it's going on.
And again, it's not our property, that's Agnico.
Yeah,
So
you-
maybe we could contact
That area there.
Agnico.
Yeah, right there, that area is actually Cobalt town property. Yeah, I did look at CGS to see where our property is, and that is part of ours.
Okay. So can we put this on an agenda for discussion in the new year? I know, but we've only got a couple of months left till the end of the year, and it's gonna be a busy couple of months. Snow is gonna be here, so I don't think it's gonna be a fire hazard once the snow comes. And this will give council time to put their brains to work and see what ideas and suggestions they can come up with that we can discuss at a meeting.
Sure, which meeting?
January 13th.
Hey, done deal.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Wait a minute.
Council's okay with that?
Yeah.
Been there for 20 years.
Yeah, it's been years.
It's not a quick solution, but we work towards a solution for next year.
Snow works for me, but it goes away.
Yeah, well, that's why this will be a next year's solution. 11, sorry, all in favor of accepting items for council information? Carried. 11, bylaws and agreements. 11.1, bylaw 2025-33 to enter into an agreement for a municipal bylaw on property standards enforcement services related to staff report 2025-10-16-05. Draft motion. Whereas council received staff report 2025-10-14-03 with a recommendation to adopt bylaw 2025-33. And whereas the council of the corporation of the town of Cobalt deems it desirable to enter into an agreement for the provisions of bylaw enforcement services. Now therefore be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the town of Cobalt hereby authorizes the mayor and clerk to enter an agreement with MEPS Advisor Services, Municipal Enforcement and Property Standards Services. And further that bylaw 2025-33 be read a first, second, and third time and pass this 14th day of October 2025 and be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. Mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor Starchuk. Discussion.
Is this where my discussion from earlier fits into place?
Yes.
Negotiate less.
Okay. Councillor Starchuk. I'm going to go around the table.
I don't know if they're that easy to find, these, someone to do these jobs, but I could try and negotiate less. We could try and do
Yeah, the
that.
new guy shouldn't get as much as the old guy.
And cost of living have too, right? So, anyways.
Okay. Councillor Ward.
It never hurts to negotiate, that's for sure. Is he gonna be paying his own vehicle insurance and all that and everything? Also doesn't stipulate anything about that, so maybe that's where his mileage is coming into it, wear and tear. Insurance.
Councillor Lafleur.
Because he's gonna be doing a lot of traveling, I think we have to look at a little bit of leeway there to help him out as far as that
How much
goes.
traveling is he gonna do?
Wait your turn, please.
Because he's gonna be doing a lot of traveling and stuff, whatever. The idea that if he gets a call, then he's gotta get up and go. Whatever time of day it is, okay? Hopefully not at the late day at night, but I know he'll probably end up getting some calls any late evening for disruptions of dogs or of animal complaints of a bear being around or whatever the case. So the guy's got to drop and go. So, as long as he keeps track of it, to me, I don't see a big issue of it, but it just depends on how much it's going to cost us. That's all.
Councillor Anderson.
I'm quite in agreement with paying him the same as we have been paying. It's a very responsible job. I'm very, very happy with his qualifications. He's got lots of qualifications. He's done lots of teaching. He's done work with people and everything. So I don't think he's got a learning curve to go through. And this is the same rate we've been paying all along. So it's not an increase for this year at all. And so I think we should just stay with it, and we need to get it passed and get him in here. So.
Councillor Wolfett.
I agree with this side of the table. No, seriously, the guy's got a bucket load of experience. And if you want a bylaw officer, you need a good one, a responsible one. We've had other bylaw officers who weren't as responsible as we might have liked, who weren't as experienced as we might have liked. And we got an end result that was something that we might not have liked as much. So I'm all for, I'm not worried about his fee for travel. The guy's coming not just to his job and then going home. He's coming here, then he's driving all around the place, working on infractions. So it's a cost to him. As Steve pointed out, it's insurance, it's a whole lot of other things. So I don't have a problem with that at all. And for somebody who is on call out all of the time, that's a responsibility. And you do have to pay a fair amount for that. It's just the way of it. It's not like a regular 9-to-5 job where you may or may not have to go in. It's weekends, evenings, whatever. And so I think he's well worth the money. He's got the qualifications. I would say let's get him on board.
Okay, so now I'm going to speak to this. First of all, his mileage rate is as prescribed by Canada Revenue. He's not asking for anything above what any other self-employed person would request. And keep in mind, he is self-employed. So he does have his own expenses. He has his own insurance that he has to pay. Just like any other sole proprietor, business owner, it's all the same. He's running a business. And I agree, it's not any more than we've paid in the past. We've already got a list compiled for when he starts. And he does have the qualifications. You can't teach and not have those qualifications. So I think he does come very highly qualified. We've met him, we spoke to him. I've had quite a conversation with him. I think he's very clear on what our expectations are. The days of teaching are over. I think our residents have been taught enough. Now we're going to be enforcing. I believe is the message that we gave him. So the time to talk is done. The time to enforce is here. Okay. Councillor, oh, sorry, I promised Steve he could speak.
Everyone, I know the mileage was discussed. Speaking with David, he would be coming for some of the calls. He's going to put it in his mileage when he's going also to Coleman Township. So he's not going to do like a special trip unless it's something like an emergency or anything like that. But if it's looking at properties, he's going to look at ours as well as Coleman's in that same trip to reduce mileage.
The cost.
municipality. So he and I already discussed this.
Okay, Counselor Hughes.
Yeah, a couple of things, I guess. Well, at $500 a week, if he doesn't come here, then that's a very good deal for him. Not a great deal for us. We can't guarantee he's gonna be here 3 days every week of the month, so we're gonna cough up $2,000. We might see him 4 times like we did with the last one. As well as the mileage, of course, a lot of insurance. He's not gonna drive his truck any other time of the day except when he comes to work. And Pat mentioned that we're used to paying this money, and we paid this money for the last few years, but it's not really the same because our taxes have went up every year. We've went up 30%, which is incredible. And it's getting harder, and I doubt very much our taxes are gonna go down next year. So we have to cut the fat somewhere. If we can save $2,000 a year, $6,000 a year, then that's a percentage on the taxpayers, which I'm all for because I'm getting taxed out of the town myself personally.
Counselor LaFleur.
I agree with Councillor Hughes, but I know one thing that we do need a bylaw enforcer. We have people on the lake and they're on boats,
Well, let's just.
and I found the boats.
And unless somebody's, okay, I'm gonna stop you right there,
Okay.
Counselor LaFleur. Unless somebody's gonna call and start reporting stuff
Yeah,
and giving proof of who is in, then there's not a lot that can be done by anybody. And I just went through this with a break-in at my house that is up for sale.
Yes, I heard.
Their stuff is there, but I can't prove they were there. So you've got to be able to prove it. And that is where the problem is. People aren't magic workers. You can't convict on supposition, hearsay, unfortunately. So we got to be very careful about what we're saying. And as for bylaw not being here, I don't think there's been a week that's gone by when bylaw hasn't been here. No, there has
Well,
not.
I can name quite a few weeks.
Well, I'm asking the staff and they're telling me that bylaw is here usually at least once a week, if not more.
We are notified ahead of time.
So, and then there's gonna be other times where he's gonna be doing even more work than he normally would do. And that's the perks of being self-employed. You work your butt off sometimes and sometimes it's easier. Anyway, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
This is also mentions the trial period too, so maybe we could negotiate for the trial period and see how he does over the course of the year. And then we could give him whatever we want to give him. Our job is to try to save him some money and get down to it. We've got budgets coming up soon and I don't know where we're gonna trim it.
Unfortunately, these are not the costs that are killing us, but definitely, they definitely do add up. Councillor Wilcox.
And we are responsible for maintaining the security and safety of the residents in our community.
Yes, we are.
And he is the first step in that process.
Councillor Anderson?
And if we wait another month to negotiate, we would pass this tonight. So therefore, that would be another month without the security cabinet.
You can hire him.
And I believe you said there's a long list of things to start. No, we can't hire him saying this is what we're gonna pay in the bylaw.
Nobody
And-
agreed to this. though.
And
Nobody agreed to what we're gonna pay him. That's just a suggestion.
Well,
So hire him and then negotiate with him, like everyone does in the world. You
okay.
don't go to a job and say,
Okay, Councillor Hughes.
that's my point, just let's save money if we can. Try.
Okay, I'm actually gonna call a recorded vote on this.
Who's going to ask?
How did I know? Sorry?
Explain what we're voting on too, please.
Okay, I'm gonna read this again. We're voting on the contract and the bylaw. 11.1, bylaw 2025-33 to enter an agreement for municipal bylaw and property standards enforcement services. related to staff report 2025-1016-5. Draft motion, whereas received staff report 2025-1014-03 with a recommendation to adopt the bylaw 2025-33, and the bylaw is part of your package. And whereas the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Cobalt deems it desirable to enter into an agreement for the provision of bylaw enforcement services, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Cobalt hereby authorizes the mayor and clerk to enter in an agreement with MEPS Advisor Services, Municipal Enforcement and Property Standard Services, and further that bylaw 2025-33 be read a first, second, third time and pass this 14th day of October 2024 and be signed and sealed by the mayor and the clerk. We already had a mover and a seconder, and we've had our discussion. The bylaw sets out the terms of the contract. Okay, so I called for the recorded vote. I vote for. Councillor Anderson.
For.
Councillor Hughes.
No. I'm fine with hiring, just, maybe we can negotiate cheaper price.
Councillor Ward.
Yes.
Councillor LaFleur.
Yes.
Councillor Starchuk.
For.
Councillor Wilcox.
Or
6 for, 1 against. Motion passed. 12, unfinished business, there is none. 13, new business. 13.1, schedule of accounts. Draft motion, be it resolved that council receives the following schedules as presented. Schedule number 2025-18 in the amount of $184,746.50. Schedule number 2025-19 in the amount of $66,387.80. A mover and a seconder. Councillor Wilcox and Councillor LaFleur. Any discussion, clarification required on the schedules? Councillor Starchuk?
The Northeastern Public Health, it's on the first page here.
Yes?
Municipal levy of $4,999.07. What is that for?
That's our municipal portion for the health unit.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
We pay that out?
Yes. Every month.
Just some clarification.
Yeah. Anything else? No? Okay, all in favor? Carried. 14, mayor's report. Hey, this is where I get to talk your ear off for a few minutes. This comes back to our discussion about bylaw enforcement. It also comes to crime in town. I don't know how many times I've asked people when they've come to me and said, I've seen this. Well, did you call anybody? No. Okay, so here's the problem. You can tell me, you can tell your friend, you can tell your neighbor, you can put it on Facebook, but nothing is going to happen. You see it, you report it. It's that simple. If you don't report it, the problem continues. You want the problem fixed? Make the phone call. You don't have to give your name, you can remain anonymous. Because there's details that the police, the office are going to want on the incident that only the person who witnesses it is going to know. Because I don't know how many times I've called the police or I've called the office on behalf of somebody else and they ask me a question and I go, I don't know. Because I can't anticipate everything that they're going to want. So the first step to solving the problem of the crime, of the bylaw infractions, is start calling. It's that simple. And unless you're going to call, then it's going to sound harsh and some people are going to be upset with me for saying it. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. It's that simple. Okay. I love to try and help people out, but unfortunately, this is not an area I can help in. I've been told by the police, I've been told by bylaw, the person who sees it has to make the call. Okay? And that's all. I'll get off my soapbox now. Okay, 15, closed meeting, draft motion. Be it resolved that council convene in closed session as per section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 2A, security of the property of the municipality or local board. 2B, personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Lafleur and Councillor Starchuk. All in favor? Carried. I'd just like to advise the public that we will not be resuming recording after the closed meeting. And we'll call a 10-minute recess while our recorder breaks down his equipment. Not